It was a simple perimeter scan, escorting resources. But we were ambushed by Kalan raiders. Fighters were no problem, but the missile frigates were a different story. Command got clever. One wing used cover to keep themselves safe on approach.
Target acquired.
While another group found a tunnel in the structure to sneak behind them.
We're on prime talk within range. Future up. Let's do this.
It worked. Just before a carrier battle group arrived. We scrambled bombers.
Vector confirmed. Scanning zone adjusted.
Perfect for attacking capital ships.
This is bomber lead. Engaging carrier.
We protected the resourcers while they hauled in the goods, which meant we could roll out assault frigates.
Cleared hot. Let's take it to them. Stay on them.
Break contact.
The raiders weren't pushovers, but Command countered their hit-and-run tactics. The way their carrier exploded, beautiful. And we even grabbed a little souvenir. That missile frigate is ours now.
If you're into real-time strategy games, you're likely familiar with the Homeworld series, which first took flight back in 1999. And many moons later, we're gearing up for parts unknown in Homeworld 3. And here to make those parts known to us right now is Homeworld co-creator Rob Cunningham. Rob, how you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, let's kick this off. Now, Homeworld returning represents the return of, I would have to say, one of the most iconic space strategy games of all time. How is today's technology kind of like allowing your team to truly bring Homeworld back the way you first envisioned it?
Back in the day, and I'm talking like 2000, 2001, we had dreams of what we would love to do with the fantasy and the sci-fi, style and world. And it was simply impossible. It just couldn't be done. So we ended up putting stuff into the backdrops and the skyboxes and stuff like that. But now with Unreal and the technology we've got, we're totally able to bring that into the game and just really give it the depth and structure that we dreamed of back in those days.
Homeworld 3 is a continuation of the story you first set out to explore many years ago. Like, what can you tell us about the expansive universe we'll get to explore in the campaign?
So the campaign it's obviously a sequel. So the campaign is the continuing of events after Homeworld 2. So at the end of Homeworld 2, the player is shown this. There's a huge discovery of a hyperspace gate network across the entire galaxy. So travel could be easy and ubiquitous for everyone, and it was sort of billed as this glorious golden age of Sajet that was going to take place. And as is often the case, what appears to be wonderful turns out to not be quite so wonderful. And there's darkness and problems, of course, to deal with as the story develops.
Now with that, with that knowledge that we have now, what key elements can you kind of tell us that'll, I guess, help us understand the narrative direction moving forward in Homeworld 3?
So the hero of the Homeworld franchise from Homeworld 1 to Homeworld 2 was Karen Sajet. She was fleet commander and the sort of mind of the mothership. And she was the navigator of the mothership, and she was mentally, plugged in with cables into her head, into the hyperspace core of the mothership, which allowed her to, travel vast distances and so forth. Homeworld 3 takes place about 100 years after Homeworld 2. And the hero from Homeworld 2, Karen Sajet, has been lost in space, and a great problem is taking place in the galaxy. Gates we're having all sorts of catastrophic problems. So the player is introduced to a new character called Imogen Sajet from the same kith, which is the science kith in the fiction. and she's the sort of successor to Karen, and the new mission to go and deal with the problem is sent, and that's the player's job, is to deal with the problem.
One way to deal with the problem is, of course, with combat. Now, we got fleet combat. The fleet combat system, I have to say, it looks breathtaking in this next installment. From what I've seen so far, what can we expect to be, kind of like the same and different in Homeworld 3 combat-wise?
So players can expect the same basic staples of fleet combat with the different classes of ships, from the strike craft up through the capital ships into the super capital ships. And the same sort of ballistics and unit pairing that was established in the previous games. But new to the franchise with Homeworld 3 will be all sorts of terrain-based gameplay. So because we have these giant structures in space, huge megaliths, giant ice shelves, all sorts of incredible geometry in the level. It's no longer just empty 3D space. Now we have, cover as a mechanic. There's hiding as a mechanic. There's, bottlenecking and unit filtration through different apertures and cavities in the terrain. So it's much more interesting and dynamic as a fleet combat game.
Now, with that knowledge, I'm pretty sure, Rob, you probably have seen what some of the fans have been saying online. I know I do a lot of trolling online, and fans have been asking on Reddit, will mothership management be more like Deserts of Tarik, or will they be able to kind of like specialize, customize motherships in Homeworld 3, like over arcs and campaigns? Like, what can you tell us about that?
So the short answer is there will not be mothership customization like there was in Deserts, but we'll still have that mothership progression, and ship production progression over the course of the campaign.
I'm super excited for Homeworld 3. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes, now this game sounds, dare I say, out of this world. Yes, it does. 2023 can't come anytime sooner for us to hop on into Homeworld 3. Now, we're going to keep the gaming goodness coming with more, so don't go anywhere.
Years ago, a satellite detected an object, an ancient starship. Deep inside the ruin was a single stone that would change the course of our history forever. On the stone was etched a galactic map and a single word more ancient than the clans themselves: Higara, our home. The massive colony ship was designed. Construction would take 60 years. The promise of the guide stone united the entire population. Every effort on the construction of the ship that would seek it out among the stars.
Hi pinball fans, I'm Anna, designer at Zen Studios. My previous works are Curse of the Mummy and Trolls, and now I have taken on the task of bringing the acclaimed strategy game, Homeworld, to pinball form. On this table, you are tasked to find a legendary place called Higara, your original home. Following a star chart, find on an ancient tablet. You will need to guide your fleet and your mothership on a perilous journey through space. We have worked with Gearbox Entertainment to include the original music, sounds and models of the Homeworld Remastered Collection to bring the most authentic experience. In the main modes of the table, which were inspired by the original Homeworld campaign chapters, You will be tasked to dodge the space debris with your ball, gather up enemy ships for salvage, and protect the mothership from a huge meteor or intercept trajectory. The Wizard mode drops you in a huge space battle where the Titan flagship appears. You will have to send out ships to counter it with well-placed shots to stop its advance and gain big points. You might see some unique toys that landed on this table. For example, the middle of the table has a roulette-like contraption which serves to build up your research ship. If you target it enough, it will turn into a locking mechanism and start the mode, while during the mode it acts as a spin disc. Another one is this oddly shaped diverter, which can send your balls randomly 2 ways and also acts as a ball lock. I hope you have many hours of fun on this table, and I will see you on the leaderboards.
Hey everyone, it's good to be here with you today. Before I jump in, I want to give a shout out to Anna. Thank you for walking us through the Homeworld pinball table. It looks fantastic. And a big thank you to David on our video production team for putting that trailer together. I have to say, I think it's one of the best pinball trailers I've ever seen, and it's probably one of the best ones we've ever made. So awesome job on that. I'm really excited about that table. Of course, it comes out today, so you can play it. You know, Pinball FX Early Access is an opportunity for experimentation and trying new things and changing things when we need, want to do so. So one of the things I want to address first is the technical aspect of Homeworld's release. You've just heard that it's releasing to the Epic Game Store as opposed to the Pinball FX in-game store. So chalk this up to an opportunity for us to experiment the way that we release content to you. And we're going to see, what we can do with this. All right, so for the next, a new Williams game or a Zen Original or some new licensed partnership. So we'll give you a little peek of that and let you, look further into the future.
Acknowledged. Standing by. Standing by. Standing by. Ready. Roger. Standing by. Locked on target. There's one on you. Gotcha. Ready.
First batch of bombers rolling off the line. Looking good.
Roger. Roger. Acknowledged. Standing by. Attack coordinates locked in. Copy. Confirmed. Attack vector laid in. Strike group prepare for assault.